The beautiful game. At its finest, it's poetry in motion. The thrill of your team lifting a cup or beating or at rivals. And as long as there's been computer games, sports have been simulated on them. One of the very first games, Pong, was obviously a tennis rip-off. However, the most popular sport in the world does have its fair share of highs and lows. And here, on Noob Game Reviews, we're going to look at 3 of the games from the 1980s. We're going to be looking at Emlyn Hughes International Soccer, World Cup Carnival, but first, we're going to be looking at Footballer of the Year 2. Footballer of the Year 2 on the Amstrad was released by Gremlin Graphics in 1989, making it the youngest in this roundup. It's a sequel to 1986 Footballer of the Year. It sees you in control of a single footballer attempting to win the coveted Footballer of the Year award, as if you didn't get that from the title of the game. You enter your name and pick your starting team. The teams are a mix of the most successful teams in the British Isles of the time. No need for licences here, as you don't get to find out who your teammates are. You then get the basic menu screen. From here you can check your stats for the season, check your lifetime awards, medals and goals scored, etc. You can move to the next match, you can load and save, or you can retire. Or you can attempt to negotiate a move away for your team, or you can play the quiz. As with every good football in the 1980s, gambling was a pastime, and here is no exception. You say how much you want to stake and you answer a series of multiple choice questions. Answer it correct and you double your money, but get it wrong and you lose everything. When the fun stops, stop indeed. The questions are all based around football knowledge from the 1980s, so how's your memory? The main bulk of the game itself sees you playing a series of cards. Each card has a football tactic on it, and it's your job to make sure your player is in the right place at the right time to slot the ball away. Some are easier than others and it's a complete gamble which one you get. After you finish your cards, the rest of the game is simulated and you see the score, then it's back to the main menu. Sometimes you do get little money bonuses, as you do need cash to buy the cards to score the goals, and it's up to you how many cards you want to play in each match. Every now and again you could get called up to your national side, but to do this you need to score a certain number of goals in your next match. If you do, and then you go on to score in your next international game, you stay in the squad for the next game. You can negotiate a move away by paying a set amount, and then you've either got to score 3 goals in your next match or answer the quiz questions. If you are successful, you get transferred to another team with a lump sum of money to be able to buy some more lovely gold cards. And then you just play on until the end of the season. If you've done enough, you qualify for the shortlist for Footballer of the Year. Then it's the big announcement. And this time I never won it, but you know, if you do well, you do actually win it in the end. You then continue. It's a simple sounding game, but it's executed very well. It was ported onto other 8-bit systems and 16-bit computers as well, and whichever system you get it for, you're in for a treat. The boy done well. Okay, next up is World Cup Carnival 86 on the Commodore 64. Released in 1986, funnily enough, by US Gold, this was the first ever official World Cup endorsed football game. And boy is it memorable, but unfortunately for all the wrong reasons. If you can remember back into the 1990s and the slating that Rise of the Robots got, well, say hello to the 1980s equivalent. This is the game that started cynicism about football tie-ins. Right, where to start? Okay, you have the choice of trading or game mode, so let's get straight into the game. And after choosing how many players and a skill level on your team, it's right into the action. This game is awful. It's like the developers of the game have never seen a game of football before in their life. The opponents run and shoot in the wrong direction, the players are static unless they're being controlled, the ball doesn't move right, the music, my god, the music. The story is that US Gold were running out of time with this game, so they bought the source code to Arctic Computer's 1984 title, World Cup Football. They messed with it a little bit and added the official teams. The game magazines were swamped with letters from people having played top price for this game, and I was one of those guys that bought it back in the day. The magazine Zap64 gave the game a staggering 11%, and I think that was being generous. I'm so sorry, I just can't play this anymore. Could somebody turn it off, please? Right, I've taken my medicine and calmed down a bit now, so it's 1-1 at the moment and into extra time, and up steps Emlyn Hughes International Soccer on the Amstrad. Yep, old Crazy Horse himself put his name to this game, which was released in 1988 by Audiogenic for the 8-bit and 16-bit range of computers. Despite the very bland title screen, behind that blue ribbon lies a multitude of options. You can choose a number of players. Is the goalie computer controlled? Can you back heel? Do you want to auto-select your own player? The list goes on and on. It's a big tick for customization options, and you can even change the colours of the pitch and the lines if you deem fit. Perfect for those green screen owners back in the day. There is a total of 8 international teams to start with. You can customise them completely, and I do mean completely. You can change the team name and you can add your own players, you can change the strip colours if you wanted. You pick a team to choose, and you can either go into a league, a cup or a season, and the season is the league and cup combined. Your players can get fatigued, so you have to manage your squad before each game. It's standard 4-4-2 here all the way though. The game itself plays like a much later title. Most of the popular games at the time were top-down games, but Emlyn Hughes is a side view like you were watching on your telly at home. The players react like they really would in real life, and the ball is under your control. All the players act differently depending on the skill level. You can pass, shoot, lob, header, slide tackle. You can control the power of your shot depending how long you keep hold of the fire button. You will be scoring screamers in no time. This was my all-time favourite football game right up until the early 1990s when Sensible World of Soccer took over. I played it today like I was that little kid waiting for it to load all those years ago. Go and play it. It's a classic. So there we have it. The good games win 2-1. It was a half-fought game. The lads did well. It was a game of two halves. From here at Noob Game Reviews, we think it's all over. It is now. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.